here's a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down. So why don't you take a minute and stay where you are, and I'll tell you the story of how I made it this far. Apart from being born in Philadelphia, that's where my similarities end. Most of my days were spent riding my kiddie ATV down a hill steeper than the Big Inch, or building cities out of blocks inside. Well, that's the way it was until I went to my old school, and actually had to do school stuff. And I was there for a number of years, 7 to be precise, and I still remember the day when my mom told me, "You're not going back next year to 7th and 8th grade." And I was like, "What? Well, what do you mean? I've been there for 7 years, it's kindergarten. Everyone knows me, where am I going to go?" She's like, "You're going to church farm school." And I'm like, "What's that? I don't want to go there." And it was a pretty bad transition, to say the least. I was not at all pleased to lose my friends for 7 years, and going to this new school that I had no idea about, with people with completely different attitudes and walks of life. So for the first year, my frustration and confusion, I did what I thought was most logical: hiss and growl at people that I didn't like. As you can see, that has changed a lot since then, and I think part of that has been the culture of CFS. After those first 2 very rocky years, I realized I was probably going to go here anyways, and I might as well live with it, because it wasn't going away anytime soon. So I said, alright, I'm going to make some friends, I'm going to try to get good grades, I'm going to try to join in the community, do more stuff. I'm going to actually take my role as a citizen of CFS, and from that time on, it's been amazing. I mean, although middle school was fairly enjoyable, I have to admit, I enjoyed it more than I did, more than I wanted to, but kind of hid it because I didn't want my parents to think that I was enjoying it here. I don't know why, but I'm really glad that I've been able to be here all these years, even with 2 rather annoying traits that I've developed. Those are procrastination and forgetfulness. I've got to say this for anyone who struggles with this, with any of them: deal with them quickly, because they have definitely been the worst thing about CFS for me, and it's nothing that anyone here at school has done. It's just with me. If you are struggling with procrastination, you got to deal with it quickly, because if you just leave stuff off until the end, you're going to be extremely stressed out, you'll be frustrated, and, well, I would say that thanks to procrastination, I didn't get into one or two of the colleges that I really wanted to get into. I didn't get as high grades as I wanted to. I failed a few classes. If you do work quickly, you got to do it right, and you got to do it as soon as you possibly can. So I really wish I would have nipped that problem in the bud a long time ago. And the fact that I am naturally forgetful certainly did not help that out. However, there was one thing that carried me through all those problems, has let me reach this point, because I don't think without it, I think I would have failed out of school a long time ago. And that's faith in myself. The faith that I think I can, I know I can, I'm going to do it. I mean, I might not be super smart, I might not be super strong, but I know I think I can do it, so I might as well try. And that's actually the reason why I've stuck with wrestling for so long, because I knew that with my procrastination, and if I ever stopped, I wouldn't go back. I wouldn't keep making myself stronger. And my first year of wrestling it wasn't disastrous, but it was pretty bad. I didn't win a single match. I weighed 68 pounds at the beginning of the season, and I've almost more than doubled since then. Wrestling has made me stronger, made me smarter, and I think that it's improved quite a few of my qualities. But yeah, first year of wrestling was pretty bad. I was by far the weakest, slowest, and most unskilled person on the entire team. So reason why I stuck with it though, instead of switching to basketball the first week, was because I've already started it. I know that if I stop, I'm not going to get any better. If I don't keep doing something that I'm not good at, I'm not going to get better. If you're good at something already, it's good and all to keep doing it. But it's the areas that you're not good at that you really have to work hard to improve. I think it's better to be better at a lot of things than the best at a few. It's better to be more well-rounded rather than have only a few areas of expertise, because if something bad happens to one of those areas, then you're in for a bad time. I learned. I used to only be good at a few things in wrestling, namely flexibility, and that was it. But over the years, I actually learned to use skill, to use my minimal amounts of strength, develop stamina, and although it wasn't such a good year this year, my wrestling record has improved. My grades have not improved that much, but they're certainly better than what they could have been if I hadn't kept working hard. Although I really wish I could have avoided all the troubles that procrastination has given me, I think that if I hadn't procrastinated, I wouldn't have developed this faith in myself, which sounds really weird, because it would be really late on the night before something was due. I'm sure if I hadn't been like, nah, I can't do this, I gave up, I'll just take the L. But I wasn't really, not really like that. I'm like, all right, I got half an hour left to get 2 pages of an essay done. I'm gonna do it. I think I can do it. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? I get a late grade. It's not a good thing, but it saved me from failing. The thing is, you don't have to be like that, have these negative qualities to get good. You just gotta, I mean, it sounds cliche, but you really just gotta believe in yourself. Like, I know people say it so many times, as a kid, you get older, just, believe in yourself and everything will turn out fine. Well, you gotta do other stuff too for everything to turn out all fine, but thinking you're gonna do something is the first step to actually doing it. And thinking you're gonna do something and do it well is the first step to actually doing it well. So for all of you guys that have dreams, I'm pretty sure that's all of you, if you're thinking about doing something, do it. Don't wait. Just start doing it whenever. If you start early, if you don't give up, you can get good at it, you can go far. And I wish I could have backtracked my life, changed some of the choices I made, and worked even harder than I had. But it doesn't have to be like that for anyone who hasn't reached that point. If you're still at a point where you can change where you're going, then change it for the better. So, I know that a couple people wanted me to talk about why hold the door. This ties into that a bit. As I said earlier, I weighed 68 pounds when I first came here. I'm pretty sure the door was almost as heavy as I was. So, every day when I go up to chapel, I would struggle immensely just to get the door open. And I would push myself against the door and be like, dang, why is this door so hard to open? Like, oop, right in. So I realized what they're not doing it instantly, they gotta struggle a little bit too. I might as well make it a bit easier for them. So the past 6 years I've held the door, partially because it's nice, people get in faster, you can see everyone as you walk by. But I'd say the main reason is the faster everyone gets in, the faster everyone gets out. I like chapel and all, but the seats are kind of uncomfortable. So, I'd like to end with this. I know I've been pretty negative about myself and all. I wanted to make this a bit more positive for everyone else. smart or strong or particularly skilled at something to get there. In fact, that's probably the best way to start if you're not good at something. Because if you're not good at something, the only place you can go is you can get better. You're going to get worse if you don't do it, and you're going to get worse if you just don't focus on it all. So if you have something that you're not good at or something that you want to do, spend time getting better. Spend time getting good. Put the effort into it. Don't wait. Because it doesn't matter what your skills are. As long as you think you can do it, and you do it, you're going to develop those skills, develop those abilities. You're going to get good at what you want to get good at. So I'm going to end with a quote that I feel really exemplifies this. Where wisdom and valor fail, only faith remains, and it can